Friends, Bryan here, and I today want to talk about a very serious topic, and the topic is depression. I want to give you guys my take on it, and a thought that might help people that a lot of people don't know about. Depression. A lot of people post about it. A lot of people suffer from it. I know I've had my own battles with it myself. I want to take you guys back to, 12, 15 years ago. In the area where I lived at that time, I was in my mid-30s. There was a rash of men who died. They chose to take the exit route. At that time, these men that died, you would look at it and go, gee, like they had a really good job. They had a nice house. They had a nice truck. They seemed to be really happy with their wife and kids. Everything seemed to be going good. What happened? Even their close friends were like, I don't know what happened. So-and-so seemed to be happy. And, you could have a lot of discussions with that. Like, we don't always really know what's going on in someone else's head, going on in their life. Is there mental illness involved? There could be a lot of things going on. But there's something that a lot of people don't know about, and I want to stress. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. But this is something I've seen and does affect many men. Probably women, too. Testosterone. That hormone, that wondrous hormone, and also crazy hormone. When it kicks in, for a lot of us, maybe we're in elementary school or high school, get these weird feelings down the nether regions. It's hard to roll over in bed sometimes. You start thinking about pretty girls in your class. God forbid one of them walks by you with some really nice perfume on, then you're in a daze for hours after. You don't really know what the hell's going on. I didn't really have anyone to explain to me what was going on. You have to kind of figure out what's going on your own. But it's a very powerful hormone, and it helps make men men. But as we age, the stresses of adult life kick in, having to work, having to provide. We start to let ourselves go, a lot of us, with our diet. And in our food, there's a lot of bad things. There's a lot of bad things out there in our food, and our food supply, and our water supply, and the air supply. These chemicals that aren't good for us. They mimic estrogen. We start to put on weight around our stomach. A lot of men don't know this. But the more fat you have in your body, you have this enzyme called aromatase that's in our fat. And it pretty much takes your testosterone and converts it to estrogen. And it becomes a very vicious cycle. Signs of low testosterone. You don't feel rested in the morning, no matter how much you sleep. You feel like you have no energy. You're depressed. They don't feel like getting out of bed. For a lot of men, they have those mornings where they don't even feel like getting out of bed. They just want to eat cheesies and watch Netflix. They don't have that sense of well-being in their head. You have no get up and go, no zest for life. You might be losing your interest in sex. Maybe you've lost your interest in sex completely. I had a friend of mine many years ago. He came to me and talked about all these issues he had. And he was like, my wife likes her sex on the weekends. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They were one of those rare couples that have been together a long time, had kids, and they still had sex. Okay? Most couples, let's just be honest, usually that kind of ends. But she told him, she said, hey, if you don't get this fixed, we're done. I'm out of here. So I told him, go see your doctor. But guess what? He had low testosterone. When your testosterone levels are good, your sleep is much better. You feel more rested. You have more energy. You have more zest for life. You kind of feel like you have those younger years back sexually. Are you talking to me? I don't see anyone else around, so you must be talking to me. All my friends, I'd tell them, I'd say, go get your testosterone levels checked. And they would say to me, well, I went, my doctor was kind of saying, oh, you're fine. I said, no, testosterone's kind of a funny thing. Sometimes doctors can be very resistant, okay, depending on where you live, depending on the laws. But I tell all my friends, kick up a fuss, say, hey, I need to know. And when you go and get checked, you have something called your total testosterone, which is what a lot of doctors will check. But that doesn't tell you the whole picture. You might have, a decent level of total testosterone, but we also want to know the free testosterone, what's actually flowing, which is actually available in your body to work. It's not being used up by something else called sex hormone, binding globulin, and we're not going to get into that. But make sure to say, hey, if he's willing to check your total testosterone, say, can you also check my free testosterone? I really want to know. Sometimes you have to be pushy. In every case of every friend that ever went and got checked, they were low. Some doctors, even if you're average or low average, they'll say, you're fine, you don't need anything. No, you got to be pushy, folks. This is your health. But testosterone is an interesting thing. It's a big player in the game. And for most people, you know, I can look at a friend or an acquaintance who comes up to me and says, man, I don't feel the way I used to. I'm just not happy. Things aren't going good. I can tell. Are you taking care of yourself? Are you putting on a lot of weight around your midsection? Are you active at all? I know it's harder, guys. As we age, we have to be proactive. We have to be proactive about our health. I don't always completely just trust what a doctor says. I like to do my own research, sometimes get second opinions, but I can't emphasize that enough. Now, is this going to help every single one of you with your issues? I'm not saying that. But I'm saying for some people, this might be the missing piece that might help them. Blood work doesn't lie, folks. And that's another thing. When I talk about going to the gym or resistance training, I hear the craziest shit from people. Oh, well, you know, I don't want to go and hurt myself. Well, you don't have to go and lift heavy. When you do resistance training and you do it properly, it's good for your hormones. It's good for your testosterone. It's good for your growth hormone. It has so many benefits that I've talked about in other videos. But doing resistance training has so many benefits, especially when you're aging. It doesn't mean you're trying to compete and break world records, man. People have all this bullshit in their head. Stop. Stop the madness. Work on your health. So to all my friends out there who are suffering, go get your testosterone levels checked. If you're really depressed, if you haven't been taking care of yourself, if you've been putting on a lot of weight, it might be that little piece that might help you out. But you know, being healthy isn't just a matter of taking a drug, my friends. We have to be proactive. We do have to take some responsibility for our own health. Be active, try and eat better, exercise, go to the gym, go biking, go for a walk out in the middle of nowhere in the snow like I'm doing. But for all my friends, stay strong. But you might want to look into that. Again, that's a little life hack that I've learned. But you have to do you. And for all of you out there, I hope this helps. This is Bryan signing off.